Susie. We're talking about stress and anxiety with many things going on in the nation and around the world. Joining me now is psychologist Dr. John Gavazzi. Thanks for being with us again. So what do you see as the major source of stress right now for some people?
Well, it's the political stress, and it can boil down into really two main areas. The first one being political polarization. So people usually get along and they can unify around, certain ideas and principles, but in this political climate, there's a lot of polarization, so it disrupts relationships and can disrupt families. The other component is just the uncertainty of what's going on in these political times. Just earlier in your broadcast, there was a contract canceled for multi-million dollars. So it's that kind of uncertainty. People are getting fired, then rehired, tariffs are on, tariffs are off. People are unsure of what's going on politically at this point.
So what impact does social media and other platforms have on all of this?
Well, social media is a great place for misinformation and disinformation. There was a recent study that if you're interacting with others, quote unquote others, online, it's probably a bot, so it's not a human being. So the idea is people are trying to push their political agenda, and again, it gets back to that polarization piece. It's that us versus them, and people are trying to impose their will, their political will, on other people.
Any other sources of significant stressors that are floating around these days?
Oh yeah, when it comes to the government and politics, a majority of my caseload are people who are either seniors or on disability, and people are worried about their Social Security check. People are worried whether their insurance is going to hold or not. So there's a lot of uncertainty around these policies, and again, earlier in your broadcast, the idea that people are trying to secure their health care to make sure that people do have some type of health care. So human beings typically run better when things are certain, times are certain.
And so what can people do to deal with these anxiety and what they're experiencing right now?
Yeah, well, the first thing is, again, social media. Stay off or really limit yourself to social media. Some of my patients doom scroll when they're in bed, so make sure that you are not taking your social media to bed. But all the other good self-care techniques. So exercise on a regular basis, stay in a schedule. You might want to go outside and outdoors and appreciate nature. So all of those kind of good self-care, stress management techniques will probably work.
Essentially unplug.
Unplug, absolutely.
When should you see a professional like you?
Well, after about 2 or 3 weeks, if you're having sleep disturbance, appetite disturbance, your mood is either depressed or irritable, or you're just feeling stressed out, you're not able to concentrate, and that you find your mind drifting or being preoccupied by these types of political stressors.
Dr. John Gavazzi, always good advice. Hopefully we can help our viewers with that. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.